You need a store.
Logo with some Simms-isms in it.
The upper echelon
right?
somewhere out there.
Exactly right.
Right.
So we're going to have a little fun and
it.
maybe capitalize off my stupidity, right? Might as well. If somebody's going to be stupid and capitalize off of it, might as well be me. Yo, what up? It's Chris Simms. It's Chris Simms Unbuttoned. Connor Rogers is here. Yep. I've been capitalizing off my stupidity my whole life, really, when I think about it.
How
now
far
that I
you've
hear
come.
that, I have, right. I mean, some smart moments as well, but for the most part, yeah, stupidity. Chris, that's where I'm good in that department, all right?
I really want a Chris Fuchsia shirt. Like that, with maybe a baby Buddha. But
don't worry, we're going to get it done. We're going to get it done. The wife is on a mission here to figure this out a little bit, so we're going to see where this goes, but hopefully I'll have something to unveil, maybe at the Super Bowl or something like that.
The homies are waiting. We had a lot of feedback. Grayson Bird said, would definitely get some merch. May I suggest a Sims-sation shirt?
Yeah.
Pat MC59 said, I totally want a Leader House hoodie.
Right.
That's good. That's
We're
excellent.
the Leader House is great. That was one that just naturally came out one day. It was like I was like during golf. I think it was during the Masters.
Okay.
So it was like leaderboard and and I added it together and it became a thing there. Right.
Buzz said, not that I'm Johnny Gamble over here. That's a good one. I do like that one.
Yeah.
You love throwing Johnny in front of anything.
It's the Jersey in me.
Yeah, like
Jersey
Johnny TV.
Oh, you think you're Johnny Tough Guy,
That's
huh?
right, that's right.
kind of where that comes from
throw
in
it
New
in front of
Jersey,
anything.
right? Oh, yeah, you think you're Johnny Football, huh, Simms? Okay,
Johnny
we'll
Gamble.
show you. Right.
Craig Burgess said, diamond in the haystack, needle in the rough. I'll buy that.
Yep.
Man,
That's definitely going to be up there.
You have a lot of them.
I have a lot. In fact, I'm going to bring the list because we have EJ, right? EJ, who works for us, EJ Gentile. He does a lot of our funny things. He's done things about my Simsisms and these little skits on Pro Football Talk with Florio. So he's kept track of them. And I actually probably should bring that out next week and read some of the other ones off. I think people would like that, actually.
So today, of course, we're previewing the conference championship games. We got what's more likely on tap for both the AFC Championship and in the NFC Championship. And at the end, we're going to circle back to the homies preseason predictions and give some shout-outs.
Yeah.
There's one.
There's one.
Very impressive.
There's him.
Yes.
Him is there, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that'll be cool. But I'm excited to see who that one is, actually.
For what's more likely with the AFC Championship, as we always do, we now look back at last week's results. And the first one was Buffalo rushes for over 125 yards or under 100. Chris, point to you. Over 125. They had 183.
Yeah, I mean, they ran the ball really well. I mean, there was almost 100 yards in the first half, I believe, right?
Yep, and Josh Allen had at least 60. I know he had 40-something in the first half.
This is the thing to watch out for a little bit with the Denver defense, right? The Denver defense is not real big in the middle, right? It's more guys they're chaos creators a little bit. So if you do have a big offensive line, you can push them around a little bit if you can deal with their movement, and that's a little bit what scares me about their defense at times.
Point to Chris. The next one, Bo Nix has over 35 pass attempts or under 30. We both went under 30. When you get an overtime game, this is definitely going to be knocked out of the park at 46, but he had 39 before overtime.
We were done already. We were cooked.
Yeah.
We were cooked. And I guess that's the thing that we're going to break down here a little bit with Jarrett Stidham and what to expect and all of that, how much you can put, on his shoulders. But another thing where I don't look at them and I'm not blown away by their run game, right? I'm not. And they've had to rely on Bo Nix throwing the ball, I think, more than they've really wanted to. So that'll be another interesting thing to see because, I don't picture them running the ball in New England. New England, when they have Barrymore there and he's healthy and with Milton Williams, you just go, they got some big people. And I don't expect Denver to be able to push them around a whole lot.
Why would you let them if you're New England?
Yeah, exactly right.
Don't get beat by Jarrett.
You're exactly right. That's some of the stuff we got to talk about here when we break that down a little bit.
Our last one we made up for it. Drake May's completion percentage is over 72 or under 69. We both went under 69. His completion percentage was under 60. It was 59.
That's not hard to figure. If you're playing the Texans, bet on the low as far as completion percentage. Yeah. Yes, definitely. And another thing to watch out with that, just specifically to there, I do feel like Drake May's a little off throwing the football the last 2 weeks. Again, he's made some nice throws. I got that. But he was kind of a machine at the end of the regular season and the middle part of the season.
Yeah.
You've definitely seen some throws off target. I know he alluded to it after the wild card game and certainly felt like that in the game the other day. So, hopefully he can get back in rhythm here for the sake of the Patriots as we go along.
All right, so the Patriots traveling to Denver for the AFC Championship. What's more likely, Jarrett Stidham has more touchdowns or more interceptions?
Wow. I'll go with more interceptions.
Okay.
All right. I mean, I don't think it's going to be crazy here. And the thing that we have to figure out with Stidham is just, what's going to be the approach? Again, we've talked about their run game. I don't think they're going to be able to go. And I think to your point, like what you're saying, Vrabel's going to go, well, let's not let that happen. Let's put the onus on him. Now it's about how much of the pass game do you want to put on Jarrett Stidham? Jarrett Stidham, like schematically, brain-wise, and this is why Josh McDaniels loved him as his backup and why Jarrett and Sean Payton want him as a backup, right? He's smart. There's not going to be like, oh, we can't put as much on his plate as Bo Nix, right? No, they're going to feel no limitations in that department. They're going to go, hey, he knows what to do and where to go with the ball. But there's always the, can he hit the ground running and just, hit the free throw every time if we do it? He hasn't played some football there, right? So that's going to be what they have to figure out. I feel like if I was in their shoes, because I've been thinking about this a lot over the last few days, I would think in a lot of ways, I would play the approach early, screens and shots down the field. Those to me are the safest ways to kind of get going. Give them a few screens. Oh, I saw the ball go through the basket and the net a few times. I feel good.
Yeah.
And then the other reason I like down the field shots for guys like this in this scenario is it's there's a little more room for error, right? Okay, you throw a deep post. If it gets intercepted, okay, it's like a punt, right? But at the most of the times, too, you're not reading anything. I got a shot. It's my guy against their guy. Did he beat him? Can I throw it to a spot where he can outrun him somewhere? And there's that. Instead of maybe dropping back and doing something Bo Nix has done a bunch where you throw an in-cut in a tight window where you're like, wait, I got to read the safety and the linebacker, and I got to put the ball perfectly. Those are the things I'd be scared to do with Jarrett Stidham early on in the football game. But again, like I said, I don't think there's going to be about limitations schematically what they do. It's just going to be about getting him comfortable and feeling good in the moment.
I'm going to go the other way on this one. And I think it's going to be more of if it cashes 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. I don't think you're dropping back Jarrett Stidham 45 times. I think that I think he'll be pretty smart in this game, honestly.
I hope so.
We just did the breakdown of C.J. Stroud on the Tuesday show. I don't think you're going to see a lot of throws like that. On the flip side of it, I don't think you'll see a ton of chances. But it's most likely that he throws a touchdown and an interception. It's like it's a even
if
split.
you made me pick, I would have gone it's 1-1, right? If that's what I would go. I can see him throwing 1 touchdown, they get in there, and then he throws an interception, and maybe is close to throwing an interception 1 or 2 other times, or whatever. Like that's what I would pick. But if you're going to make me choose one or the other, I'll go with this right now. Right, and to your point about C.J. Stroud or anything, this is a game, rely on your defense a little, especially early. Don't take any unwarranted chances trying to fit some ball down the middle early on to where you give Drake May and company the ball, and now all of a sudden you go, oh, crap, they scored we're down 10 points, and now we can't run the ball, and we got to throw the ball a lot, and now, oh, no, I haven't played a lot of football, and I'm not hitting on all cylinders. That's, to me, where it can get dangerous for the Broncos and Jarrett Stidham.
I kind of gave away my answer for the next one, but what's more likely, Denver runs for over 110 yards or under 90?
I'm going to go under 90.
I just can't see New England allowing it.
I don't think so either.
They're also a good run defense.
They definitely are. And as physical as they're playing right now, I just don't expect that either. I mean, linebackers are aggressive. The safety play for, New England is phenomenal as well. I don't see that either. I do think, like, I gave Garrett Bowles first team, all-pro left tackle. He's arguably one of the best, if not the best, pass protector at left tackle in football this year. He's right up there. That's why I gave it to him. But I don't watch the rest of their offensive line and just go, oh, they move people out of the way. Right? Their guard, how do I say his name? Minierez or whatever, right?
Oh, Miners?
Miners, right. Yeah. He's real good, but do I think he's a hair overrated? Yeah, I do. I'm sorry. I do think that. But, yeah,
belly. He's got a cool belly.
Can they root out, Tonga, Barrymore, Milton Williams, Spillane, who's coming downhill.
Sure.
Christian Ellis is a psycho.
Ellis is a maniac.
He's a maniac. I've had a lot of conversations with McCourty about him, and he's like, dude, Ellis has no regard for his body. He is that guy that we used to be worried about. Like, he's going to get penalties because he hits too hard. He's too crazy.
Knock himself out of the game.
So that's where I just don't see the run game for the Broncos, capitalizing a whole lot in this football game.
Yeah, Denver's averaged 116 rushing yards a game, but they had just 70 against the Bills.
Yeah.
So it's now teams know what they're going to do.
They know what they're going to do. Nobody is, as we've discussed with Denver too, and this is where they need to rely on their defense because follow the money. The money on their football team's on the defense primarily. We've talked a lot. They don't have a number one receiver. I think with Buffalo and why they stopped the run, and this is something I said I misevaluated by Buffalo late in the year, Buffalo can cover a little bit. They can play man-to-man. And you're not going to be scared of anybody in Denver. And the Patriots are going to go, Christian Gonzalez, you got Cortland Sutton, Carlton Davis, you take Mims or whoever
They're
else.
They're banged up now.
And you're right.
Which is like,
we're always a little worried.
It's like little Jordan Humphrey out there.
Right, exactly right. So that's going to embolden them even more to go, hey, we can crowd the box, and we feel like we can cover these guys on the outside a little bit.
What's more likely? Drake May completes over 65% of his passes. Seems like the market made a correction here since last week. Or under 60%. May had an NFL best 72% completion rate in the regular season, but has been at 58.9% in these two playoff games. Denver has allowed a 58.2% completion rate this season. That's the second best in the NFL. Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to go under.
I am too because
I think Denver's defense is going to feel the pressure. They're going to play. They're going to play.
Right.
They're going to be motivated. This is the kind of thing where I've been in these scenarios too. First off, the head coach is going, hey, this is why we got an awesome defense. He's saying that to the football team, right? And then when they go into their defensive meeting, the defensive coach and Vance Joseph is going to be like, hey, this is why we got Nick Bonito. It's why we paid you, right? This is hey, Mr. Surtain out here. This is why you're the man. It's games like this, and we need you guys to show up right now more than ever in this situation. I feel like Denver's defense is going to rise to the occasion as far as that's concerned. So that's where, you give them a fighting chance, right? That they can do that. That Zach Allen and Jonathan Franklin Myers and all of them can show out and kick some ass.
All right, our last one for this game. What's more likely? The Patriots have over 30 carries or under 25. This season they averaged 29.2. That's sixth in the NFL. Denver has faced 24.2 carries per game this season. That's the fifth fewest in the NFL.
I'm going to go over. I think they're going to try to play like, hey, we think their defense. Let's see if we can push this smaller group around. They usually stay patient with the run game. We've seen that all year, right? I think they're going to try to do that to kind of also simplify the Broncos and some of the craziness they do, and they'll be tactical about their shots off of that. So I don't think this is going to be way over 30, but I'm going to say. I just feel better about that than under 25. Right. I don't think that's the formula they're going to go into the game with here.
I'm with you because they're 5.5-point favorites, so they're telling you New England should be somewhat in control of this game. I think this is going to be a really good game, despite everybody just writing it off because of Jarrett Stidham.
I hear you.
I mean, he's a $6 million backup.
Yeah, he's one of the best backups in football.
They're not throwing
Sean
Tim Boyle
Payton's not an idiot. He's always had really good backups. When Drew Brees didn't play in New Orleans, they still won with Luke McCown and other guys. They'll be ready to go. It's just that it's rare that it's happened in this moment, AFC Championship, and it's like, oh, you gotta be pretty good today for us. Like, you got to today's the day. We can't wait another week, right? And
have the best game of your life. No big deal.
That's what's unfortunate for Jarrett Stidham.
I'm going over as well. I think New England will also try to maybe protect Drake May, who's been hit a lot.
He's been hit a lot. He's been a little shaky.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of swept that under the rug because C.J. Stroud was such a disaster.
Right.
But yes, Drake May has been, like I said before, off throwing the football a little bit and definitely a little bit too casual in the pocket to just be like, hey, dude, this is the playoffs. This is different animals you're fighting. This isn't week 7 against, some crappy team you played on your schedule this year. There are guys that know how to get the ball out of your hands once they get around you, like Will Anderson or Nick Bonito and company, and that's where you've got to be careful.
We're going to take our first break. When we're back, we're doing the same thing for the Rams and Seahawks in the NFC title game. NFC Championship, what's more likely? Let's look back at last week.
Uh-oh.
Yep, uh-oh is right, as we see some of the results here.
Oh, gosh. Well, we were wrong to start.
Yeah, Christian McCaffrey has over 25 touches or under 20. We both went over. He had 16.
They couldn't even get the ball to him.
That's the problem.
They got into such a hole and everything. They were like, it was like abort mission. And then even in the trying to throw the ball to him in certain passing situations, Brock Purdy was literally under fire right away to where they could never let much develop down. And then, of course, being down, and it's that Seattle defense, the run game started to, you just start to panic and you can't stay with it as much.
And then on the other side, Sam Darnold didn't have to do a whole lot in this game. Has over 9 yards per pass attempt or under 8. I went under 80 at 7.3 just because.
Yeah.
Once again, like Sam Darnold with no oblique could have won this game.
Right. And he certainly did not have his fastball, right? But he did control the football. And, I think for his sake, too, and a little bit like we're talking about, I think he realized, like, hey, wait, I got a good defense. I don't need to do stupid things here. I don't need to take chances here today. And then, of course, what helped that is the opening kickoff return to just go, all right, let me just let this game play out, and a few plays will kind of present itself, and I'll make them if I have to. And that's all he did. That's why this is a different Sam Darnold. Right? This is why I keep telling people, right? I've told Michael Kay on ESPN a little bit. I've told Stu Gatz when I talk to him and go on their show to go, this is not Minnesota where they want him to go 28 for 35 for 330 to win the football game, right? This is Mike McDonald. This is Clint Kubiak. They're going, we want to run the ball, and when we drop back to pass, we want to just take a chunk play, but we don't need you to be like the savior of the football team, and that's why I think this is a different formula overall compared to the Minnesota days.
And it's worked out great for them.
It has.
Chris, we heated up here.
Yeah.
What's more likely, Matthew Stafford throws an interception or Caleb Williams does? Well, Caleb threw 3. Stafford threw none, so we got that one, both of us.
Did.
And then what's more likely, Matthew Stafford has more holy shit throws or Caleb Williams does? And we also said Caleb Williams, and guess what?
Right.
He had the holy shit throw.
I mean, Caleb Williams, he might lead in every game the rest of his career for holy shit throws. I mean, that's just the simple fact of the matter. Again, I mean, he's got skills that are up there with the greatest quarterbacks of all time. And now it's just about being more of a polished quarterback and being surgical in the pocket, not missing some of those throws we've talked about all year where you go, you're too good to miss that. I think he's gonna figure all of that stuff out, and then they'll be able to grow the offense even more, and just watch out for Chicago.
All right, let's get into the NFC Championship. What's more likely for the Rams at the Seahawks? Matthew Stafford has 3+ touchdowns or 1+ interception in the divisional round versus Chicago. Was Stafford's first game this season without a touchdown. Seattle is top 6 in passing touchdowns and interceptions allowed this season, but Stafford had 5 touchdowns and no picks in the 2 games against them.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the 1 interception. 3 touchdowns is just too much for me. The way Seattle's defense is playing right now, right? So I think that's where I kind of look at it in 10. Seattle also, and, go ahead. I'd like to hear your answer, but I feel like we got to say a few things about this Rams offense a little bit here.
Well, I'm going to go with the 1 interception because it's just such an easy barometer to clear.
Right.
It's a team that and I get the regular season, but Seattle's playing the best football that,
of everybody right now.
And it doesn't look particularly close. They're confident. They're healthy. And
they got playmakers. They're physical on both sides of the ball. They can run. They can stop the run. They can get after the passer. They can do it all.
And Stafford, I think in this game, there will be a time where he has to take some chances that he doesn't love to take.
Yeah.
And that's usually when you get a tip pass or you get one that's a deep ball. So I just think if he throws 3+ against the Seattle defense, that doesn't even feel like the recipe to win for the Rams in this game. That's
I wouldn't think so.
Hard
if he throws 3, though, I go, damn, they're winning. They're going to win.
Yes.
Right?
I picked them to win the Super Bowl.
They're obviously moving the ball and making some plays. But, yeah, I expect Seattle to make some adjustments on that side of the ball. And here, I had a lot of people. Like, there's another thing. This is like we should call this a lot of people segment. What's up with the Rams? Why hasn't the offense been as good lately? All right, so let's just break into some context of that first off. Like you just brought up, the Seattle game, Week 16, was arguably one of the best games we saw a quarterback play all year, right? So, okay, that was awesome. Big game moment. They were up 30-14 late in the football game. You're not going to blame Matthew Stafford for losing that football game. He did everything and then made another big play in overtime, right? So that was awesome. All right, now, the next week they go to Atlanta. They lay an egg. They lay an egg as a football team. But also, there's no Devontae Adams, and they're playing a defense that is extremely fast, at home, playing for their coach's life. Oh, and that coach coached with the Rams and knows McVay like the back of his hand, right? So that context does matter, all right? And within all of this, I just want to say, The Rams' speed and talent is overrated by everybody. Everybody thinks the Rams got it like 4-3 guys. And I'm going to go, no. Puka Nacua's a high 4-4 guy. Like, people aren't worried about him just running by you on the outside.
Right.
Where Puka Nacua's beauty is he has size. He can beat you deep, but that's not his bread and butter. His size, his route running, McVay knows how to get him open off of that route running, and then he catches the ball on the run, and he's physical, and he can run through arm tackles and make plays, right? That's Puka Nacua. It's not like it's Tyreek Hill where you just line him out there, and he'll run by whoever, and they'll have off coverage, and you can throw him all these short routes. So I feel like that's a little overrated, all right? And then also Davante Adams. Davante Adams still, I'm saying they're really good, but it's those two guys. That's it. And Davante's not a guy that's going to scare you or back you off either. And so watching back the last few games, that was one thing that's jumped out to me, is secondary's not really backing up much when they play.
Right.
Especially this last game against the Bears. They were not scared to play man-to-man against the Rams.
Davante did not look.
He doesn't look like he's got the last gear, right?
No.
He looks like he's running pretty good, but there's been plays in the last two games where you're like, where is the other gear? So they have that game against Atlanta. They go to the Cardinals, and again, it's a division rival, and they got a defensive coach who's, again, fighting for his life. He plays pretty good that day. I mean, I know it wasn't awesome, but he played pretty good. He threw 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. They win the football game. Carolina, bumpy. Okay, but still, I mean, he threw for 300 yards.
Right.
He went through a little lull in the middle of the game when he hurt his hand and blah, 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 but still then was awesome at the end of the football game. So there's that. And then Chicago the other night. Right? They were on his stuff. There's no doubt about it. The Rams don't run the ball enough. They have gotten away from pounding the rock a little bit, right? They lack real speed at receiver that scares people off. I'm seeing defenses, like I'm telling you, being a little emboldened about going, we're more worried about stopping the 10 to 12-yard completions like you just brought about.
Yeah.
We're not. Why are we defending like they might throw the ball 60 over our head? They don't do that all that much, right? So I think there's that there, right? And then, hey, this week, Dennis Allen, he's got history against Sean McVay too. And Dennis Allen ain't no slouch. I mean, he's damn good. He had a good approach to the football game. He really did. And, my last thing is just that, the Bears weren't scared of them. They blitzed them. They played man-to-man. The first half, they played a ton of man-to-man where you were like, whoa, they don't give a shit.
Yep.
They're up in the face of the Rams and doing that. So that's a little bit of the context of why maybe it hasn't been quite as awesome, down the stretch. But, again, this is a scary group. We know how quickly McVay and Stafford can get hot.
By the way, Puka, 4.57.
There you go.
I know he plays faster
and he
than
also
that,
does
but
not look like he's 100%. There was certain plays in the game in the Chicago where I went, he looks like his foot or whatever is just not totally normal. Like, he's running good, but that's my point. And I think teams have figured that out a little bit to go, why are we backing our safeties up like they're going to throw bombs over our head like it's Mahomes and Tyreek back in the day? That's not who they are. And so they're being played a little differently. And to me, that's where they're missing out on the run game. They're going through too many stretches where I go, it's pass. We punt it. Okay, maybe we run it on first down, and then we get the ball back, and we run it on first down, and that's pass and pass again. And you saw in the second half, they got to the run game a little bit, and it makes them better. And I think it's going to open up the field for them, and especially a team like Seattle, right? I think they're going to have to do that because if you just continue to drop back and pass, that front's going to get to Stafford.
How about this from OptaStats?
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford, the only quarterback since the 1970 merger to throw 40-plus passes, complete under 50% of his throws, throw for no touchdowns in a road start, and yet he still won.
Yeah.
Regular or postseason quarterbacks have been a combined 0-99-1 in road starts since the merger when doing that.
That's pretty.
So kind of an improbable win in a way for the Rams.
That's pretty amazing. But there's probably some stats that go the other way to go, hey, if you don't turn the ball over and the other guy turns it over 3 times,
you're gonna win.
That evens it right back up to where you go.
Play a certain way.
So exactly right.
Right. And we talked earlier in the week about not young, but younger quarterbacks in Josh Allen and C.J. Stroud that got a little wild.
Got to play Drake May, right? You got to play it the right way. Right.
Stafford knows, seems to know, like, this is the game I need to play this way, and this other game I'll play this way.
No doubt. I think Stafford maybe made one dicey throw the whole night where you went, ooh, that could have been intercepted.
Trouble.
Other than that, he put the ball in safe places throughout the night.
Well, back to the Rams run game, which we broke down the stat Monday morning. They ran the ball a ton in the fourth quarter and overtime and did not a lot the first 3 quarters.
Right.
So maybe they've kind of fallen back rightly into their stubborn ways. What's more likely, They have over 120 rushing yards or under 100. The Rams average 125 a game this season. Seattle allows 93 rushing yards a game this season, but they allowed 121.5 per game versus the Rams. I'm going to go over here, Chris. I think they just have to lean into it. It could be 3.3 yards per carry. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Kyron Williams, we've kept you healthy with the split touches with Corn for a reason.
Right.
Fire him up.
I don't know where I want to go with this one. I mean, Seattle's front is playing so good, but this is a game where, they got to worry about the pass game a little bit here, right? They do. They know that the McVay's got some answers for their defense, and they know they got a guy that can kind of dice them up if he's given time there. I'm going to go with you too. I'm going to ride the over in this one. I think they're going to play that way. I think they're going to look at their last few games and go, we haven't done this enough. And if we want to make some plays against this defense, it's going to come through play action and doing it that way. And I'm going to go over too. I don't think it'll be much over, but I'm going to say it barely does.
On the Seattle side, what's more likely? Sam Darnold throws no picks or 2+ picks. He had 2 touchdowns and 6 picks in 2 games against the Rams this season, but he had just 8 over his other 16 games.
Yeah, I'm going to go none. I'm going to go none. I'm going to roll with
Believe
Sam.
in Sammy
I'm going
D.
to roll with Sam here. I am. I mean, again, I think the 2 is too many, right? Again, if you made me put a number to it, I'd go, he throws 1. But out of these options here, I'm going to go 0. I think he's going to look at last week and go, man, I don't have to do much with the way we're playing, the way we're running the ball right now, and our special teams and all that. I think he'll be careful taking chances against their defense.
I'll take the 2+. I don't want him to.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for Sam Darnold.
Right.
I want him to kind of shake the constant, every time this moment happens, he crumbles.
Right.
I hope he has a really clean game, but I just have to see it first.
I got you.
Especially a little banged up still coming into the game.
No doubt.
What's more likely? Kenneth Walker has 2+ rushing touchdowns or 0. Of course, he had 3 last week. Zach Charbonnet, unfortunately, out for the season. The Rams only allowed 11 rushing touchdowns this season. That was tied for second fewest in the NFL, but they allowed 2 in 2 games to Kenneth Walker. And we talk a lot, besides Poona Ford, they are a lighter front.
They are a lighter front. Exactly right. I'm going to go with the 2+. Yeah. I'm going to just ride that too. I'm going to ride that, it's not a big Rams front like you're talking about. And the Seattle's going to go, let's play defense. Let's run the ball. We'll take a shot down the field to Rashid Shaheed or Jackson Smith-Njigba here and there. But they're going to ride that. And I just think Kenneth Walker, you could arguably say he's the hottest running back left here in this group too. He's got it going right now. I mean, since the end of the year and of course, in here to the playoffs, he looks legit. So, I'm going to ride with Kenneth Walker.
I'm taking the 2+ as well because it feels like 1 is baked in by the odds. Kenneth Walker should score a touchdown in this game. So if I have 1 built in, you're telling me he can't fall in one more time. I like the 2+ here as well. Our last one for this game. What's more likely? Puka Nacua has more receiving yards than Jackson Smith-Njigba, or the other way around. Puka averages an NFL best, of course, 105 per game this season, but JSN's number 2 at one-on-one. It's basically a pick.
Yeah.
In the 2 games these teams met this season, JSN has 201 yards, but Puka has 300.
Yeah.
I'm going to roll with what I've seen before.
I'm rolling with Puka, too.
Man, he's one of the strangest receivers I've ever seen because he plays receiver like a linebacker.
He's physical as hell. That's why he fits perfectly with what they do because he run blocks, so then they can use that off of the play-action game, and he could fake run block and then go out. And then, of course, he catches McVay's brilliant at exposing the second level, right? Making a safety go here, and now there's a hole here, and Puka Nacua is coming behind it, running 100 miles per hour with a 10-yard catch, and he snags it out of the air, and now he's on the full run, and safeties try to hit him or tackle him, and he runs through the arm tackles. That's where he's special. I'm going to go Puka, too, but just because also the Rams know how to feature a guy.
Right.
The Seahawks, I don't necessarily know if they know how to feature a guy. They play a game and they have a few plays that are dialed up for Jackson Smith-Njigba to do that. But I think this is going to be a game here where the Rams are going to go, no, we're not going to let you dial up anything with Jackson Smith-Njigba deep down here. I'm going to take Puka having the better day.
Let's look at the odds on DraftKings for the highest scoring team in the conference championship. Seattle's the favorite at plus 145, then New England plus 225. I'll take the Rams, Chris, at plus 250. They can get hot at any moment. And then the Broncos, because they're starting a backup quarterback, are plus 550.
Highest scoring team odds here. Wow, yeah, that's a good one. I can understand the Broncos being at the bottom of the list. Yeah, the one I would trust the most, it's the Rams or the Seahawks. You're right here. Right, and as I sit here on a what the hell day is it? Tuesday or Wednesday? Excuse me.
Wednesday, yep.
I sit here and kind of go, I'm expecting, I feel like I'm going to take the Seahawks to beat the Rams, even though I picked the Rams to go to the Super Bowl, right? But I am capable of looking at the way teams are playing and going, just like you said a few minutes ago, it feels like Seattle's playing better football than anybody right now. So I feel like I'm leaning towards them, and I feel like I would lean towards them in this being the highest scoring team in the conference championship as well.
They are still favored in this game by 2.5 points.
They can score so many ways.
Right.
Like, you kind of feel like their defense might score or special teams might score. Kenneth Walker could break a touchdown. They could throw a bomb to JSN or Rashid Shaheed, right? That's where you look at, but we'll see. You know what's crazy? It's Sean versus Mike, and it's Sean versus Mike in both matchups.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That is kind of
weird.
weird.
Food for thought for you
There you
out
go.
there.
Makes you
right?
think.
Sean versus Mike in both championship game matchups.
Really makes you think about the NFL script sometimes, doesn't it? We're taking our last break. When we're back, we have some homie shout-outs for the preseason predictions, plus Chris Fuchs has thoughts on John Harbaugh, officially official, the coach of the New York Giants.
The G-Man.
DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download the app and use promo code Cornerback when you sign up. DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours.
All right, we're back. Let's take a look at the homie preseason predictions. Of course, the teams most picked to make the AFC Championship game. How about the Denver Broncos there at 12.6%? They got a shot. Of course, the Patriots, 0.3%. One entry. We're going to give some homie shout-outs at the end. Don't worry here. It's crazy.
One entry for the Patriots.
That shocks me.
It does. It shocks me, too. You just feel like, the Patriot fans are so passionate. You feel like there'd be a few others. I did think that the Patriots would be in the playoffs, right? I certainly didn't think AFC Championship game. And you know my thoughts. I thought the Broncos would, and I get a lot of people on like social media being like, hey, you picked them to win the AFCS. Why are you picking the Bills to win? Or why are you getting cold on them? And
things change.
It does. Things change, but I still respect what they've done, and they're still a damn good football team. And even with Jarrett Stidham, I still don't put it past them that they can win this football game this weekend.
So 365 homies gave predictions in the preseason.
Right.
Only 4 who didn't have the Ravens, Bills, or Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. Kevin O is the only one that had that Patriots pick in the AFC Championship game. Shout out to you. Yeah, okay. Blake Honnold and Cameron Phillips are the only ones who had the Seahawks in the NFC Championship game.
Wow.
2 entries, 0.5%. 15.9% did have the Rams. And then 7 homies had 2 of the final 4 teams correct. Abraham Castro, Charles Ruby, Jacob Ade, Lane Von Ruden. That's a hell of a name. Mike Franzosa, Tom Altvater, and then Zach Van Winkle.
Wow. I mean, it just speaks to the year. I mean, we had a lot of entries for this, right? We had 365 entries to only have 7 homies who they don't have 3 out of the 4. They don't have 4 out of the 4. 2. That's like, you're special because you had half of the final 4. It speaks to like we talked about all year. At first it felt like there was this like pure upper class, and as the year went on, we kind of went, man, the upper class and the middle class have kind of molded together here, and it feels wide open. And I think that's what's led to crazy playoffs and a Final Four here that I don't think any of us really saw coming here.
A special shout out to Tom Altvater, who he was the one. He's the only one that could still have both Super Bowl teams in. He picked the Rams over the Broncos.
Wow. Okay.
So he needs an upset for both teams because they're both underdogs in that game, but 5.5-point underdog for the Broncos, 2.5-point underdog for the Rams.
That could hit. That could hit. Tom, you hit that right there. You're definitely getting one of the first swag hoodies, all right? That's for sure.
You're in the leader house.
You're in the leader house for the first swag hoodie, for sure. I mean, way to go, Oracle, right there.
Last bit of news here. John Harbaugh introduced, finally.
Yeah, right.
There was some panic in Giants land for the week, just during the weekend.
Right.
Then the deal finally got done.
I think everybody was wondering what's going on.
Yeah.
Is he trying for a power grab, anything like that? Yeah, somewhat of a power grab, of course. Right? I think you look at the landscape, look at what just happened with Sean McDermott. The GM's with the owner all the time, and Sean McDermott gets fired, GM gets a raise, right? And you and I would sit here and go, man, I don't know. There's a lot of things to question about the GM too. So I think within that and the current landscape of the NFL, I think that would scare any coach like that, especially one that's as established as John Harbaugh. And from everything I know, he had I can report to the owner in Baltimore. So that's what he's used to. So I understand that right there. And again, I don't think he's like trying to go like, Joe Shane, you're an idiot. I want to have power here. No, I think he just wants to make sure that he has a voice line to talk to ownership and everything, and so they can hear all sides of the story and not just one side of the story, right? I think there's that aspect. I think there was other aspects as well, too. The Giants are a little bit like a mom and pop organization. They've had people in all different parts of their organization who have been there forever through all these different coaches, right? They've been there forever. So that's what's cool about the Giants. They're like a family organization, and they keep people all there together. But I could see Harbaugh, he came and it was like, wait, I want at least one guy I trust in this department, and one guy over here in this department, and one guy I hear that can at least, knows how I operate, can get my message to the rest of the guys here who have been here for 15, 20, 30 years and part of all the different Giants hiring cycles. I think that's what it came down to. Just getting a few more Harbaugh people in certain departments to just go, okay, now I feel like it's not me on an island against everybody else in the organization. And I think that's a perfectly reasonable thought by John Harbaugh.
It makes sense. If you're going to go after the hottest coaching candidate in the cycle, which he had that power, like Mike Vrabel last year, you might want to hear the guy out on what he thinks will make you set up for success.
I think he knows what success looks like.
That's a good idea.
You got to trust that. And he's the most decorated coach the Giants have ever hired. All right, he's been to the Super Bowl, been close, and we need a guy like that. So you got to make it happen, and it's great by ownership and the Maras and the Tisches to finally get it done.
Another week in the books.
Another week's in the book. You know it. It's a good weekend this weekend. It's Sunday. It's conference championship. I love it because I get to sit on the couch. NBC doesn't have a game on Sunday night. It's all CBS and Fox, but man, it's going to be good. I hope all of you enjoy it out there. Check me and Flory out on the Thursday Picks Pod. We'll do that. Anything else, you know where to find us. Subscribe, rate, review. Get at me and Connor on social media. Any questions you got. But everybody out there, appreciate you tuning in. Hope all is well. Connor, you the man as always.
Right, Monday morning.
Peace out, homies. We'll see you 10 a.m. live YouTube Monday morning. Yo, thanks for watching, homies. We are now in the NFL season here on Chris Simms Unbuttoned.
Hit subscribe to get our weekly picks, game recaps, film deep dives, and much, much more.
Thanks again for watching. Subscribe, rate, review. Peace out. You know where to find us.